The Asus E200HA is a slim and smart looking 11-inch laptop that costs just £200 or $200 US. Inevitably at that price there's plenty of compromise, but in many ways this is still an impressive little machine. For a start it looks really nice. The metallic paint job and contrasting matte black of the screen surround and keyboard work really well together, while the slim construction means that at a glance it could easily be mistaken for a machine that's 2 or 3 times the price. Also helping with the look is that this laptop is cooled without fans, so not only does it never make a sound, but the outside isn't broken up by ventilation grills. Of course it's all just plastic, and in fact this review sample already has quite a few scratches on it, but look after it and it should stay looking this good for some time. What's more, as well as being impressively slim, this laptop is very light, weighing in at just 980 grams or 2.2 pounds. You also get a reasonable selection of connectivity. Certainly it's enough for the sort of use a modest laptop like this will be put to. You get a microSD slot, micro HDMI and USB 3 down the left edge, and a headphone jack and USB 2 on the right. The microSD is less convenient than full-size SD, but it's easy enough to use a microSD to SD adapter for your camera, and the microSD disappears fully into the laptop, so you can potentially use this to permanently expand the laptop storage. As for the screen, it's okay, but it clearly has its limitations. It's a TN panel, so has poor viewing angles, plus it has a resolution of just 1366 by 768 pixels. But although that may sound low, on an 11-inch screen it's actually fine. It'll make working on big spreadsheets less fun, but means you don't have to faff around with Windows scaling options to get text and icons to a readable size. Nonetheless, it should go without saying that this screen is really only good for basic computing work and one person watching video. Those viewing angles means this isn't a screen to share. Also, on almost every measurable metric it struggles. Most obvious is the low contrast, which makes the screen look a little bit washed out. You won't get any better for the money, but just be aware that you are compromising much more on screen quality as compared to an Android tablet at the same price. Where an Android tablet can't compete though, other than them not having full access to your favourite Windows apps, is when it comes to typing. The keyboard here wipes the floor with just about any tablet keyboard. The layout is perfect, and although I can't vouch for its longevity, out of the box the key action is fine. The trackpad is also pretty good. Tracking is accurate and it's large enough that you're not constantly having to reposition your finger as you move around. The click action is a bit stiff, but overall it's frustration free, which is all you can really ask for at this price. The same can't always be said of this laptop's performance though. You get an Intel Z8300 processor, which is quad-core so may sound impressive, but it runs at a slow clock speed, so really is only good enough for the basics. Even a single ad-heavy web page or something like an antivirus app or Windows Update running in the background can cause it to chug. Certainly not helping is the modest 2GB of RAM, while potentially a deal breaker for some is that you get just 32GB of onboard storage. It's solid state storage, so it's faster than a hard drive, but it's far slower than a typical SSD, and once Windows has been accounted for you get less than half the storage available for you to use. Other areas where you really notice the cost cutting are the webcam that is just VGA resolution and has a choppy frame rate, plus these speakers are particularly weedy. At this point you may be thinking this is all a compromise too far, but the E200HA has one key feature that pulls it right back into contention, and that's battery life. This thing lasts a whopping 11 hours and 42 minutes on a single charge. This combined with its incredibly low price makes this laptop potentially ideal for backpackers or anyone travelling light who just wants to be able to get the basics done without fear of running out of juice, and to be safe in the knowledge they won't have thrown away too much money if it gets lost. However, for students or those just looking for a cheap everyday laptop, you're probably better off with a slightly larger, faster model. You might have to spend half as much again or even double, but you will almost certainly appreciate the extra speed and storage capacity.